Yeah, we were leaving.
You guys were just about to leave. So yeah, you guys have collected Ram with the cart itself. It's a little bent and damaged in places. The rest of you, after collecting the potions, have brought them up towards the North Gate as well, where you guys have regrouped again with your supplies. I think you guys still have a decent amount of rations still about, so you might be good on food.
I could forage for us on the way.
Yeah,
I could.
sure.
I just wouldn't be able to roll a perception check, but I'm not good at perception checks. Because I'm doing two ranger things at the same time.
Foraging in the tunnel is pretty difficult, but sure.
Well, I magically find double the food, so you know.
I have 5 questions left. Just, I don't know with everybody else.
Yeah.
I can start preparing, create food and waters. So
Yeah, I have basically 5 days.
I have 9 days.
And you're not sure how long, so you probably ask one of the guardsmen actually how long it is towards the North Gate.
I know where we're going, I don't know how far, okay?
You don't actually know the direction, because you know there is a tough tunnel this way. You just don't know where the Tig along this path wanders off from. Yeah, you guys can ask the town gate, which probably Ulan does do. And there's quite a few guardsmen in this side of the city, mainly because this is one of the larger gate houses, where it's similar to the one that you guys have previously come through, with a large rolling slab of really well worked steel. Yeah, one of the guards, Elon, just walks up towards and asks how far towards the forward camp. And the guard just lets him know it would probably be about 2.5 days travel if you're going by cart, which I see you have over there. Stick to the pathway, you'll see the turning about 2.5 days travel, and from there you can find the forward camp. You can definitely hear the noise. It echoes.
Okay. But I don't need to forage, so I can do navigation and still roll perception.
Yeah. As you guys...
It's funny, if anyone else you would do it, you wouldn't be able to.
Do what?
If you do navigation. Does that mean steering count? Does she steering the cart?
I think you need to do navigation if you're steering, because...
And she can't roll perception. That's not.
Yeah.
Well, it's a tunnel we are following.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
You're not like going through like a forest. You're following a pathway. The only thing you're really doing is looking around for dangers, which, as the gate rolls out the way again, allowing the cold air of the tunnels to blow through into the city, which is a very stark difference from the weather you're used to now being in the city, of the hot air from the forges. You remember again the cold, dark, and slightly stagnant air of the tunnels. And you guys go into the tunnel itself, with Saren currently steering. As you guys go in, you guys are traveling along pretty neatly. It's definitely well worked. You can notice there isn't much in the way of damages to the tunnel itself. It seems to be one of the newer tunnels, especially from the brickwork on the walls itself. It's new stone. It's not like the stone you saw previously while going through the other towns. This is relatively new, at least within the last century. So who's at the front with Saren?
I would be, because I need to stay basically awake for 2 days.
Okay.
Because
so,
I'm the one navigating.
Well, you're on a road, so the only thing you're looking out for is the turning.
I need to be pseudo awake for 2 days. Like I sleep, but I need to be like. So where are we going now? Huh? Okay, that way.
Well, it's a straight line, so.
Okay, never mind that. Just want to be useful for once.
When you go off road,
Off-road.
off road.
2 of us
4x4.
blind.
A few difficult terrain.
So yes, as you guys go down the road, give me a perception, as well as who else would be at the front? Probably Shay. Yeah, probably Shay.
Well,
Wait, even the ones that are in the back?
No, just unless Seraphina's at the front.
I'm blind, so no.
Probably no then. Okay.
Classic.
classic blindness.
I'm not the only one who's blind.
All right then.
And as normal, I would be sitting on the left side of the cart.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, you're the only one that actually notices much as Siren's steering, so you and Shay are looking around. The work itself is pretty good still. There's none of those holes that you saw previously. It's pretty clear sailing for definitely a couple hours as you keep on traveling, and you actually travel all the way through into the next day, as you're not really sure what time it is until Siren gets tired. Do you want to keep on traveling and just switch out, or do you want to camp?
We're in open terrain.
Yeah, you're literally just on the side of the road.
Can I make a history check to know how like good these tunnels are for like road sleeping on?
Yeah, you can give me a history. It wouldn't be this one particular, but it would be roads in general. 24. Wow, Anna's in that. Okay, sick. In general,
It's like it's general information.
yeah, general information. You probably don't want to sleep just because there could be several things that do come out. Looking for anything that is staying on the side of the road, especially closer you get to where you're heading to the forward camp, there is the chance that you will find ambushes, just because that makes sense. Although, as it's one of the newer tunnels and you are relatively close to the capital, yeah, there's a chance.
I don't like chances.
So we should.
I make my own luck. I don't take chances.
So we should make. Oh, what's it called again?
Shifts.
Yeah, shifts of 3 shifts, and so we're 2 at a time. That's sitting.
Okay, so
And
who's-
only one blind because we have the dark vision stuff at a time.
you do still have this stuff.
You have your dark stone or whatever.
Dark vision stuff.
So who's
Question
gonna?
is, who knows how to steer?
You do. You have
Yeah, but
driven
do we
steam
have
door.
a third?
Seren, you, and
I know sort of because I have +1 in
I
wisdom.
have +3.
yeah, Aaron would be probably the next one. The plus.
Like he wants to do anything.
I can hold the reins, come on.
Wow. It's like his only job is healing. Like, come on. You can do
guys,
other things.
Wow.
So
That and
Sarah,
having very
Seraphina,
interesting
and
orgies.
Aaron, and then Eva wants to sit next to them.
Okay. So yeah. So who's gonna swap steering then for Seren? Did you say you or Seraphina?
Yeah.
Okay. So Seraphina starts steering, and then
I don't know who my.
Ulan will sit at the front with you.
Yeah, you have dark vision.
He has dark vision. So yeah,
Well,
you two.
I have dark vision now.
Yeah. So okay, you're gonna use one of the chargers.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you use the chargers. He already has the belt of dwarven kind.
I will sleep for 6 hours and go up again.
Okay. You can do that, yeah. As you go in for the next travel through the day, I imagine you're gonna stay traveling for as long as possible. So for the entire day.
Well, we can traveling because we do have the 3 shifts. If we do 4 hours shift.
Yeah, we could go on forever if you do 4-hour shifts.
Lag doesn't mind too much because you guys are going at a decent pace. And it has relatively high endurance being a ramp.
We making sure he's not.
Yeah, you guys do obviously take short rests. You don't take a long rest, obviously. But you take a short enough rest that you guys can switch out.
Well, the people in the back can
Stretch.
technically sleep.
Yeah, can
for
sleep
8
in the
hours.
back. So yeah, you guys travel onwards. Ulan's going to do a perception while he's looking about.
Yeah, I should also give Aaron that machine so I can see something.
Like I said, I can hold the reins and I can do all the work.
Well, at least you need to see where he's going. Like, you don't need to see his environment, but at
I
least
think
need
this
to
is a
see where
4.
he's going.
Wow, I just rolled bad for him. That's fine. Wow, shit. Both the monks just rolled poorly. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't notice anything. As you go through the rest of the day traveling onwards, which would probably be around, I want to say, at least 10, 12 hours traveling.
Did we ever buy a clock?
He would have thought of that. Clocks. So yeah, you would travel on for most of the day from the morning into the afternoon, I imagine, and then swap.
Or
I guess
Like 4 hours and switch again.
Yeah.
Only 4 hours?
Yeah, so the people that's not steering actually can 8 hours, so they have a long rest.
Okay. You could have just done like straight 8 hours and then swapped, but that would have worked easier. But that's fine.
We're being weird.
You're being weird. I was like, yeah, you could just do 8 hours traveling and then swap. But,
We're not confident in our allies, okay?
So yeah, are you gonna do 4 or are you gonna do 8?
Let's do 4.
Okay.
Let's do fast shifts.
Alright, sure.
It will mean that we get more sleep in general.
It does.
In case we were to get ambush.
Well, indeed.
It just means more
Well,
stopping.
Well,
Math,
we can shift while we move.
yeah, but
We're not
doing
going that
math,
fast.
That's true.
I would need to use the mission stuff 4 times
Yeah, that's the...
a day, and there's only 3 charges, and depending on how the recharge rolls. So, yeah.
So if you do the full 8, then you use the whole of the dark vision instead of... having
Okay,
to
let's
use
do the full 8 then.
Yeah. Because otherwise then eventually Aaron
then
or
I don't want to steer.
Seraphine is going to be blind. Yeah. So yeah, you guys do 8-hour shifts and then swap out between persons. So eventually the first 8 hours goes with Seraphina and Ulan. Aaron, you then take the wheel, the steering reins. With, I imagine then, Savant, you'd get back up again.
Yeah, I'm only gonna sleep. Well, people have 8-hour shifts. So I'm gonna sleep 6
or
hours.
Ithamore
and
actually could,
just
actually.
walk for
Yeah,
shifts
if
and like
the
that.
also
I take 2 extra
Yeah.
hours basically.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because Ithamore doesn't need to hide anymore. So I imagine Ithamore, you would come up to the front as well because you have really good dark vision. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I was like, wait. Okay. So yeah, you guys.
Sorry, I thought you were making a statement or a question.
Yeah, I was making a question. So yeah, you two travel onwards for another 8 hours. You can give me a perception as well, just to check if you notice anything. As you're going into the second day,
I do one
you
also.
do notice more stuff than anyone else. Especially at this point.
I roll one.
Hmm?
Did I roll one?
Did you come back to the front again?
No.
No.
No, you haven't then. Okay.
It's the cleric and paladin.
Yeah,
That's-
clear right.
Okay.
You'll be next.
Well, they have names too.
No, you're a cleric paladin.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just random NPCs, okay?
Yeah, you've noticed the slight changes in the architecture, as it's now becoming more old and underdeveloped in terms of the actual structure of the road itself, as well as the brickwork on the walls. One thing you've noticed as well is the writing on the walls as well, or scarring. You're not sure. It definitely looks more like scarring from cuts into the stonework, and it's rather erratic in parts, as in it looks like there's been some type of fighting in certain sections of the tunnel as you go through for the whole 8 hours. As you guys reach your 8-hour mark, you can switch out with the first two, Seren and Savant. Double S, who travel on for the next half of the day, of the second day, actually.
Mm-hmm. I think Savant will just sleep one of the shifts and be awake both shifts direct, because he feels like he needs to be worked. He's the guide on all the deal.
Technically, you can do that, because as long as you're getting the 8 hours sleep in between, you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you travel in for the next 8 hours. You can give me a perception as well, as you're the one on watch.
I'm too busy navigating, okay?
You're pointing out. We're going straight. We're going straight. I don't see any turnings. I'm pretty sure we're going straight.
You said the road was getting worse.
It is getting worse, yeah, but
I'm trying to use my innate range stuff to not get in difficult terrain.
You do at least notice there is some imperfections now in the road itself, so you're probably moving around them more. Yeah, the path is pretty wide. It's still a good 60 feet wide of a tunnel, so yeah. It's more of just doing very slight zigzags. So yeah.
Useless.
So yeah, you go into the night of the second day of traveling. As we move into the next day, or the night into the next day, who was it again? Serafina, yes. It was Serafina and Ulan. And Shay, because Shay's got nothing better to do than sitting on the top of the carriage.
And Savant again. Because I do double shift now.
Well, I don't think we can sit for people, so you can join the...
I'll be on the roof.
Well, Shay's on the roof, but yeah.
Okay, I'll be on the shift after this then.
Yeah.
Take all of my seats, okay?
Well, no, you can be on
The
the...
roof is big enough for two.
Yeah, you can be on the front. Yeah. And considering how small Serafina is, yeah, you could probably sit either side of Ulan.
They cannot see anything.
Yeah, no, she can't. She can hear though.
It's in blackness. I know everything.
She can definitely hear though, which is one benefit. So yeah, you guys head further in for the next hours into what you can presume is the evening. So actually, mark off rations. Actually, so mark off 4 rations. 5 rations.
No ration.
Why 5?
And one?
Because you've done a day.
But 1 ration is enough for an entire day.
Yeah, 1 ration is enough for. So I meant 4 parts, but yeah, so it'd just be one full ration and
5 parts is what you're trying to say.
yeah, 5 parts. So 1 ration and 2 parts. There we go. There we go. Numbers. Actually, no, it'd be fractions. Yes. Fractions. So I'm gonna roll for. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. For Ulan.
You know, guys, maybe I should use, instead of navigating this forward, instead I will use more useful of that. Maybe.
Man.
That's exactly the same one for Sarah. Wow, Shay.
I don't...
There? Oh. Nope.
Wow!
Ulan, however, starts spotting patterns in the actual path up ahead, where it turns more into dirt. Not as in full dirt, but it looks like the actual brickwork itself has been covered by dirt. And parts of the actual walls itself have become covered in piles of dirt, which definitely look purposeful piles of dirt. And Mimsy, you also notice the signage ahead as you start passing by of directions towards the actual forward camp. And eventually, just about at the end of your 8-hour shift, you reach a large tunnel, which is very specifically on the right side of the pathway you're heading on. It's relatively large. It's not as large as the actual tunnel itself. Sorry, not tunnel. Underroad itself. It's about 30 by 30, so it's slightly smaller, about half the size. And it's full dirt opening, which is a ramp going into the tunnel itself. And it seems to slide slightly slanted in a downward direction. You carry on going down the tunnel?
Well, it's the end of our 8-hour.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's at the 8 hours, so
So
switch around.
we said things.
You switch for the cleric and the paladin.
Wow.
For Aaron and Ithilmore.
And very extremely useful guide to lead on a one-way
Yes.
street.
Well, as you're saying that, the tunnel itself opens up relatively quickly as it starts turning at an angle. Starts turning at an angle a little bit more to the left. And as it goes downwards, it opens up a little bit more as well into a cavern. The only reason you know it's a cavern is you can see a ceiling somewhere up there of stalactites, and the walls itself spreading to the left and right of you as you enter out. You do still see some semblance of a pathway ahead of you. However, the terrain itself has become rocky instead of earthen, and there's no bricks to really direct you in any sort of way. However, ahead of you are large mounds of both rock and earth in various positions of almost like hills out on the plains. But down here it's more hazardous and more unwelcoming. There's no greenery, it's dark, it's black, it's very much what you would expect from an underground terrain. That would be worse. So yes, with Aaron, you steering, with Ithilmore as well, and Savant, you said you were staying up to carry on.
I'm staying up and
Okay.
doing navigation. Now I'm getting the rough parts.
Yeah, so as you head into this relatively large cavern, you can see it heading left and heading right on the walls, but you're not sure how far forward this goes. But you do know in this area there's supposed to be the forward camp. So actually all three of you can give me perceptions. This is both hearing and seeing.
God damn it!
Savant, this is your favorite terrain, so you have advantage on this, right?
I have mountains. I don't have underground.
You don't have underground. Well, okay then. Aaron.
No, favorite train is changed. It's not that way anymore.
Well, I'm allowing it.
Yeah, I have advantage because
Is it underground or is it mountains?
it's mountain, but it's changed with Natural Explorer. I don't have favorite train anymore. I used to know where I'm always going. So.
Oh, okay. No, okay. If it was...
The old system, yes.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, you and Ithamore just see it as just large hills and mounds of earth and rock jutting out from the ground in various places, which definitely deters the direction you want to travel in, which is generally going to be straight ahead. Aaron, though, you don't notice the track in the direction you're going in, but you can hear ahead of you the sound of combat in a very specific direction of slightly the direction you're heading in, but a little bit more to the left, on the far end of where this cavern ends.
Right. I guess we're gonna be following the sound, right?
You can attempt to follow the sound. The problem is the rocking terrain is stopping most of your travels, so you're gonna have to start moving around them.
Does it count like difficult terrain because I take away that if I'm navigating?
Then technically, yes, it would stop there. Yeah, then yeah. So I'll base this on your survival, Savant, and Aaron, your animal handling.
Oh, great.
On one, you directing, and Aaron then directing lag. So
Go on, lag. Come on.
I have advantage. Because
yes,
Natural
'cause-
Explorer.
Natural Explorer. Okay, it's better. 15. Yeah. Well, you already beat the DC with 10, but 15 is even better. So yeah, natural. Through this type of terrain, you pick out parts where it's considering the size of this vehicle. It would be a pretty snug fit to fit through parts of this. And directing and pointing out parts for Aaron. Aaron, you're not as well acquainted with lag as much, but you have a connection. He pulls the way, you direct him in. Go
Okay.
this way, and things will be okay.
He listens to me.
Yeah.
Hypothetical question: can I start
Hypothetical.
tracking dwarven foot soldiers?
You would have to get off, but you can definitely try.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because then I get the exact number and how long I go.
Okay, sure. Yeah, jump off and give me an investigation. Because you can see where some type of track marks are in the ground. But yeah, you can give me a investigation.
Come on, Natural Explorer, you say exactly. You should make me roll well also.
Well, I'll give you advantage because the survival's good as well.
There we go.
There we go, finally. Yeah. So
Thanks,
looking
Natural Explorer.
as you jump off the track and kind of follow along behind the cart, after pointing in the direction to start twisting around in almost a sidewinder direction between the rocks, you notice the footprints of the dwarven foot soldiers, which are very heavy, probably because of the amount of armor they wear. Several groupings. It looks like they have multiple squads that have been moving through this area towards the forward camp. And they're relatively old. They're at least a couple days old, maybe a week. At least some of them are.
I know exact numbers and ago, so.
The ones that you're currently looking at looks like it's a group of about 30. You do notice in that group as well some lighter footprints, as well as one very heavy footprint between a dragonborn, a human, and an odd humanoid footprint, which you probably looks like a tiefling. You haven't met any tieflings very much, but you definitely know it. At least it looks like a tiefling's footprint with the size and shape, which also seems to be going in that direction as well. You also pick up a small group of about 6 footprints of not humanoid but creature footprints, which seem to be not following but moving in this area. They seem to be almost skirting behind whatever this group was.
Like skulking behind them.
Yes.
As I move up to the cart again, making a slight dash to get to it after the standing and tracking for them. Seems at least we're getting closer. But it's not only dwarves up there. There is a dragonborn and what I think is a tiefling. Not particularly sure. And we should definitely keep our eyes open for animals living in the area. They seem to be skulking behind the army. And how long ago? How long ago do I think it is?
The creatures? The creatures are pretty recent. So it was probably at least like maybe a day behind the last group of dwarves.
Okay. And the creatures is at most maybe a day ahead of us.
At least.
At least. Trying to look confident there.
But yeah, you keep on going, and you're about halfway now through this cavern. You can't see where you came from anymore, and the sound that Aaron, you could hear, both Iframor and Savant, you can now hear as well, of what seems to be combat in the far distance, which seems to be echoing towards you guys, as well as general just ambient noise from what you can assume is the camp.
Can we discern any weapon types? Or just clinking and banging?
Yeah, it's not even more of that. It's just like loud shouting. You can't hear anything determinative as like weapons hitting. You can actually try and give me another perception actually at this point, if one so desires. This would be a hearing. Oh, Ifabel. Nice. 17 and Aaron, you can as well, I guess. Oh, almost a 19. Ifamore. Simon, you pick this up as well. You it isn't as clear from all the rest of just the shouting you can hear in the background. You can hear as well something that sounds relatively familiar. The large insectoid creatures. You can hear those as well. You can hear those as well as the background, as well as the dwarven shouting, as well as other voices of the Dragonborn that you had met on the way here from the King's Guild. Who has a very thunderous voice, almost overpowers the other dwarves, but the dwarves have a numeral advantage of shouting. And it is definitely a combat that you're aware of. Yeah, so Aaron, you travel forwards further in, not hearing as much, but definitely hearing there is noise ahead. With them pointing out as well
Yeah, I just ask them where they want me to go, towards the noise or away.
Camp should logically be behind the combat line, so forward the noise.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. So yeah, as you guys get closer to the other side, which is definitely making the noise clearer, the ones in the back, you guys can hear this as well. Definitely sounds like there's combat ahead, which can be tricky because there's two people I'm gonna have to control.
Can I hear spark powder?
You can't hear spark powder, no.
Okay.
You
Like
can
something
though.
that sounds like thunder in a cave.
You can definitely though hear something like a contraption.
It's a mechanical noise.
Yeah, mechanical would be a good way of describing it.
I think what it is, but I don't think so. No.
So yeah, you guys carry on going, picking up a little bit of pace, which is it's kind of hard to say because it's a ram. They're not terribly fast creatures.
Come on, dash!
As you pull to the edge of the other side of the cavern, it narrows down into what looks like another entranceway or exitway of a tunnel, which seems to go into another large cavern area, which seems to be where the noise is originating from.
I will jump up and try to track for like people that doesn't dwarf that doesn't have like heavy boots, like more administrated people, scholars and stuff like that would be in a command tent if they have something like that.
Sure. You're not going to find too much in way of footprints.
Maybe pulling like cars or some sort of thing.
You
Building
definitely
materials.
see tracks of carts, yeah. And as you actually get to the entrance, which is where you would jump off at, you can definitely catch sight of what's in the other cavern of large, way larger than the previous cavern you were in. You're not even sure if this is a cavern anymore. It is almost like just an underground, almost just an area of space, probably kilometers large. Very similar actually to when you were in the city of Merthyr, where you couldn't see the top. Actually, probably larger than Merthyr actually, where you can't see the top of the actual cavern itself, and you definitely can't see what's on the other side. However, you can definitely see a structure to your right, built into the cliff face itself, of a very rudimentary looking what could be considered a keep, of several light towers and small windows and a large gate.
Is this on our side? If there were a battlefield in between?
That's what it looks like as you see a field of dwarves fighting the same looking insectoid creatures that you had fought previously in the tunnel before reaching Merthyr.
General observation, how does the combat odds? Which side is winning, basically?
You're not sure at this distance. It's several hundred feet, and considering your eyesight, it's not that great, and this cavern's pretty dark still. The only reason you can tell is because of the light of some sparks in the distance. If for more Aaron, you're seeing this as well as you're pulling the cart through the entranceway. At this point, yeah, I'm going to say take a break here because what happens next may take some while. So, quick break here, which is pretty short for us.
We're going for like an hour.
It's about 40 minutes, but yes. When we come back, we'll see what happens when you guys arrive on the scene of the outside of the Ford camp.